Today's topic, me and Preach were both on this. So there's a discussion surrounding working women, girls who work in the bedroom professionally. And they were saying why they didn't want it to be legalized. And so they asked me and Preach's thoughts. And this is what happened.
Picture this though, right? We're dealing with these girls behind the scenes in person, right? How they look at these guys that are paying is different from what they're telling you in person, because they look at you as, okay, he's paying a need that I have, but I don't respect him. And for me, I don't want a bitch's pussy. I want her soul.
You ain't getting nobody's soul. The f*** you think you are, Ghostbusters?
This man said her soul. Look at your face right now. You're looking at the camera like, what is he talking about? I don't know where the whole souls comment came from.
I was like, this, you want a soul?
That's corny. That's super corny. But anyways.
I want her respect. So I get what you're saying, bro. Like, I'd rather be the guy behind the scenes where she's, oh, baby, I love you, whatever. And then she's showing me, oh, look at all these thirsty guys in my DMs want to pay me for sex. Like, I'd rather be that guy behind the scenes and not the guy that's actually paying for it.
And you talk about the respect. Let me ask you something. All the girls you smashed.
Yeah.
If I talk to every one of them, you think they all respect you or are going to say good things about you?
Yes.
All of them?
All of them. You know, okay.
Okay. You know what's the best part? The live stream chat during that period, they were going crazy.
I know.
Yeah. They were just going, Cap, that's a lot.
What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight, and this is Knight Talks. I'm back with another burning question, but this one is different. I'm going to tie the two things that's been going on together. Okay, for those of you who are new to my channel, recent subscribers, first of all, super duper appreciate that. Thank you very much. Something I do on my channel, I have a little series, it's called the burning question, where I have a question that's, you know, an interesting, controversial, something like that, whatever, and I'll break it down and I answer it. All right, now if you started watching me because of the Fresh and Fit Ab and Preach deal, this ties into it. Okay, so the whole thing that started their beef was Ab and Preach were discussing whether you should pay for box or not. All right, and Fresh and Fit said you should never pay for box, where Aber and Preach said, yeah, some guys pay for box and it's okay, and they said it should be legal. All right, now there was disagreements back and forth between that. Young Kevin Samuels even, you know, he even had a show, I think it was Thursday, where he was talking about it. Should you pay for it? And, you know, he is also in agreement that it's okay to pay for it. All right, so some of these big hitters in the space, you know, go back and forth about this subject. All right, but we've learned recently that Mr. Myron, whether he pays for it with his dollar or not, he definitely uses his show, his platform, to leverage the intercourse. All right, which I think is way more scummy than paying for it, if you ask me.
And he said it'd have to be next week, so we're just discussing logistics. I answered his question, said I'm not dating anyone right now, dated someone a couple months last year, but before that I was single, and I love talking on that topic. He said, okay, cool, I'm up for that. I'm not going to do anything platonic with you, just being honest. And I thought he was reaching out for a collaboration because we're both well known in the fitness industry. And you know, my Instagram following is larger than his, so at the time I still didn't know he had a 400, you know, him and his partner have a $400,000 subscriber YouTube page. But I have been approached about collaborations before, and so since I was going to be out there, it's down to do it. So when he said, I'm not trying to do anything platonic with you, it was completely left field for me, because I was only thinking we were going to do some kind of fitness related content collab. And he said, no problem, I collab directly with girls I date, no pressure though. And I was like, so if we aren't dating, you don't want to collab? Because he's never even asked me on a date at this point. So I was like, he said, no, don't mean to be an a-hole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. And I said, well, same, we have plenty of men here in California, so why would I fly to Miami to date someone who I know nothing about? And he said, simple, attractive women are common, high value men are not. I'm not going to comment on that yet. No hard feelings though. I said, you haven't proven to me that you're a high value man. And actually, I know quite a few high value men. I'm not just an attractive woman. I'm an entrepreneur with a 6-figure business and a high profile of assets. I'm nothing but common. I meant to say I'm anything but common. No hard feelings, and a smiley face. So then I screenshotted our conversation, blocked out his name, and I posted on my story because I was shocked at this point that someone would use their business, their show, to try to get women, and they think that that would work. So I posted anonymously and I said, high value men don't talk the way that you did. I have 75 people on my story. I posted a poll and I was like, am I tripping or is this crazy? I forget exactly what I said, but I had so many people voting, oh my gosh, like this is insane. And so I said, I have 75 people on my story who voted. I can't believe what you said. The comments are insane. Not one person has your side or thinks your approach is appropriate. You're tripping. And I was using emoji faces laughing. I said, maybe you should have me on your podcast so I can teach you how to talk to women. And I sent the screenshots. Then he said, responded to the screenshots that I sent and said, I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we have sex. You have had sex with a bunch of dudes I know and aren't special. You could have just said no and kept it moving, but you're clearly in your feelings going through all that effort with a poll, etc. Go ahead and screenshot the conversation and clout chase. I don't care what 75 simps said in your story to White Knight. The difference is I say what I want and don't care what you think they do.
All right, so it is what it is. But we're gonna break this question down. All right, so I'm gonna break it down for you and I'm gonna answer it. So the question of the day is, should you pay for sex? All right, now we don't have an education today. Now, like I said, people who are new, I usually have an education portion where I hit you with some stuff, teach you a little bit of something about the topic so you have a better understanding of what we're talking about. But today we're not going to get into that. I made my own list. A lot of times I will freestyle and do my own thing. So I made my own list, pros and cons. All right, why you should, why you shouldn't, or why it's okay, or why it may not be okay, or whatever way you want to take it. But we'll start with the pros. I got 5 of each. All right. Number 1, discretion. You pay for a prostitute, or excuse me, you pay for it, you pay for bucks. Hey, she's going to keep it a secret. Nobody's got to know what you're doing. This is something a lot of men are ashamed of doing. This isn't something that's glorified or you know, people look up to people who do this. This is something that's typically frowned upon, you know. So you pay for that discretion. She's not going to tell your wife, your girlfriend, she's not going to tell your friends, nobody. All right, because that's her name on the line too. Okay, so you guys both have a mutual interest in silence. All right, so that's one thing. Number 2, there's no strings attached. All right, you get in, you do your thing, you pay her, and she bounces. Okay, or depending on what services you're paying for, you may pay her to take her out, or you may want to take her out somewhere if she's very high end to impress people. Whatever the arrangement is, you pay for that arrangement and you move on. You don't have to text her in the morning. You don't have to call her. You don't have to buy her stuff. You know, you pay for that and you move on. All right. Number 3, high level performer. She gets paid to do this. Okay. And typically people get paid to do something, depending on the level, of course, are typically skilled in that thing they get paid to do. So if you're paying good money, you know, $8,000, $9,000, you're getting a girl who looks good, who's going to be clean, and she's going to do whatever you like. And she's going to make sure you enjoy your time, okay? You can have all the love in the world for someone. They can have all the love in the world for you. But if they suck in bed, they suck in bed. So when you pay for these girls, especially the higher end ones, you're also paying for a good performance, all right? Number 4, you cut out all the things that come with dating, all right? So you don't have to go through the courting process. You don't have to take her out on dates. You don't have to text her. You don't have to call her. You don't have to do all that little stuff you have to do in order to get her comfortable enough to sleep with you, all right? Hey, some guys aren't into the whole dating thing, but they want to still be intimate. So they'll pay for it so they can cut that thing out and just get right to what they want. And she gets what she wants, which is the money. All right. Number 5, you get your pick of the litter. You get someone that's your type. when you're paying for it, you pay for the one you want. You don't have to pay for an ugly chick. If you think she's ugly, or you don't have to pay her. There's other ones you can get. Ones that suit your physical desires. One that catches your eye, okay? If you like blondes, blue eyes, you can get you a blonde with blue eyes. If you like girls with giant things, you can get that. If you like, whatever it may be, you can pay for that. And you can cut out all the crap and you can get something that you actually want. All right. And that's what I got for those. That's what I got for the pros. All right. So just like with all pros, there's cons. So I made a 5 list of cons. Number 1, empty hookups. All right. When you hook up with someone, sometimes it's nice to form a bond or a connection or something. It does tend to make the physical things have a little bit more meaning, feel a little bit more special. Now, let's keep it real. That would probably apply more so to women. Men can easily detach themselves from emotion while sleeping with a woman. But that's not always the case, and that's not every guy, okay? Some guys, I know guys who just really have a hard time having unemotional sex with someone. I do know that, all right? So I know there's guys who wouldn't be comfortable paying for it for that factor alone. But your average guy, hey, it's not really gonna care, all right? But if you sleep with enough of these people, hey, eventually all these empty hookups could maybe take a toll on you mentally. It may really skew the way you view relationships later down the road. So you just never know how some of the things can play out in your mental later in life, right? Number 2, it's a drain on your wallet, all right? If you're buying the $1,000 ones once a week or every other week, hey, even if you're rich, even if you got the money, that's still a pretty hefty expense. That money could be going to a lot of different places. But hey, it's your money. You do what you want with it. All right. But there's probably more important things you can do with it. Just saying. Number 3, it's a disconnect from real, meaningful relationships with women. If every connection you have with a woman is on a paid level where you're paying for their time and service, you're not ever going to really form a bond, because there's always that money. That's the real bond. All right. You may hate dating may suck, whatever. But one thing about dating is when you date someone, you form a connection that can grow into something meaningful. And who knows, could end up being a life partner for you. Okay. But if every girl you date is paid, you're not really going to build that up. All right. Now, if that's not something you're looking for, cool. But just like I said in the early one, you never know. You change. People change over time. You never know what you're going to want. So all these empty, meaningless, paids can have an effect on your heart later when you're ready to love someone for real. All right. So that's just something to think about. Number 4, STDs. Like I said, the high-end ones, the $1,000 ones, they're going to be clean. You should wear a condom anyway, but they're going to be clean. You're spending a $50, $100, $150. You rolling the dice a little bit. You rolling the dice like Eddie Murphy said in Raw. He's like, I didn't put my dick on the craft table many nights. There's a lot of stuff out there. If you're going to be banging prozzies, make sure you're wrapping up, make sure you do that. Number 5, last one, you risk getting arrested. Soliciting women is illegal in most places. Obviously in Vegas, it's legal. I think there's somewhere else in the country where it's legal. I don't know. You guys can tell me. But if you're like me, I'm in Pennsylvania, it is illegal here. Okay. I went out and solicited relations and it was a cop or it was a sting operation I'm going to jail. And not only that, everyone's going to know what I was arrested for, which is something that could damage your reputation, especially if you're somebody who is important. So there's that to think about. All right, now, we didn't discuss all that. We didn't discuss pros. We didn't discuss cons. You got a little something to think about, a little something to go off of, okay? Should it be legal? This is my opinion. Okay, this is not a fact because this is a subjective question. Yes, I think it should be legal. Okay. Why do I think it should be legal? For the same reasons that a lot of people preach. My body, my choice. Okay. It's legal for us to do other things with our bodies, which there are two very decided groups of, and I think you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. In particular, this pertains to a woman. I'm not going to talk about it here on YouTube, but if you're smart, you know what I'm talking about. That's a choice we can make, but you can't make the choice with your own body, whether you want to sell it or not. Why not? You know why? Because it can't be taxed. Let's keep it real. That's why. If there was a way you could tax the P word, they do it. Okay. I think the reason brothels and things like that can exist is because they probably pay some form of a tax. All right. Certain VIP special membership clubs, those guys are paying taxes somewhere. Now, if you're caught on the street doing this, walking the streets, you're risking going to jail. But do I think that should be illegal? No. Why? Sure, maybe keep it to a certain area or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure you can put some kind of regulations to keep that stuff away from the general public or something like that, or certain hours of the night or whatever. Who knows? I'm not a lawmaker. I don't care that much. But I don't have a problem with it being legal. And you guys can agree or disagree. If you disagree, drop in the comments, tell me why. If you agree, drop in the comments, tell me why. I'm really curious to know what y'all think. All right. So, to answer the question, should you pay for it? All right. The main question, should you pay for sex? If you want to, why not? I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. I think the pros outweigh the cons in most cases. There's obviously one false thing. Obviously, yes, the other can outweigh the pros, but hey, if this is a nice setup you got and you see a woman every other week and you leave her a donation and she leaves you smiling, whatever, who cares? It's your business, you and hers, nobody else's. Just like everyone else says, oh, what I do in the bed is none of your business. Same thing applies here. I don't get why it's wrong. I don't think it's a problem. Is it something that I do or would do? No. And reason for that is because I've never had an issue getting this for free. As far as like, I've never had to actually go out and leverage actual money for it. But you pay for sex as men anyway. One way or another, you pay for sex. If you done took this girl on 3 dates, they cost you $50 to $75 each. You can spend $100, $220, $25, and it took you that much to sleep with her. You could have just paid for some and cut all the shit out and save yourself a lot of time. If that was just your goal, if your only goal is to sleep with her. Now, if you like her and you want to date her, then that's one thing. But if you were just trying to get in her pants and you took her out on multiple dates and had to spend your time and money, because that's the two most important things in life, time and money. All right. If you had to spend both of those to get that one thing, how is it not like paying for it? All right. You pay for it one way or another. To wrap this up, with the whole Fresh and Fit and the Avon Preach deal, Myron, Fresh are getting exposed left and right, losing subs left and right. Just watched a video where a guy kind of broke down how Myron might be racist. It's very interesting, but it looks like he was making ape sounds when referring to Preach, and I guess they've had white supremacists on the show. A lot's coming out. A lot of guys. It's like every day something new's coming out about these guys. And as y'all saw in that clip I showed earlier, these guys are really kind of scummy. Like, I don't know. I know I said my last video was going to be the last video pertaining to that, but I thought this would be a good time. And it gave me an idea to make this video about whether you should or shouldn't. I mean, this video was more about whether you should or shouldn't. It just ties into what's going on right now. All right. So I am Dom Knight. This is Knight Talks. Subscribe if you are new. Okay. And if you've been watching and you ain't subscribed, might as well hit that sub button. All right. Click the notification bell. Like this video. All right. I'll throw my social right here for you. And I'll be back on Wednesday with a reaction.
That's nice.
Peace.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post the same now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my post.